something like you say. For them, it's in USA, it's okay to bankrupt. It's okay to fail. Fail earlier, but it's easy to say, very difficult to do. Our culture don't allow that. If I fail, in USA they look at how many you fail. Oh, I got hired. In Taiwan, oh. I mean, you heard the story. It's a real story. I mean, it was IBM, in the Watson time. The guy just screwed up like $3 million or whatever, very big money. So Watson had one-on-one meeting with him, and he said, "Okay, you're going to fire me, right?" Watson said, "Oh no, man, I'm just invested $3 million on you. You better go to make it work." That's a true story, because the guy just screwed up it was many years ago. $3 million was a big one.
So that's one of the reasons why Zhang Zhongmo still cannot retire.
Yeah.
Because Taijidin cannot fail. Right. You think about that.
And sometimes also, even a failure product could be a new market. Like, say, for example, the Post-it, the 3M Post-it, it's a failure product because at the beginning they want to make it sticky. But it turned out to be failure because you can peel it off easily. And those, they create this failure product into a new market, which is a huge sector of new market as well.
I like that ingredient. So try to turn the crisis into opportunity. Right? That's another definition. Opportunity. Right? And yeah, rather than prolong the weakness, keep going. Yeah, people just same mindset. Become numb. Give it a shot. So come to this one, Taiwan, since you just touched upon. Instead of saying what failed, one obvious thing is we want to expect. CDW has mentioned that you see on the first page. Anybody noticed? What was the words on our first page? Both Steve and I showed the front page with the global map, and there are words there. We take that as our mission. 放大台湾经济. we need to update our T-shirt.
That's our new slogan.
So this is a page that we pay a lot of attention to think about, and why we compare to Japan, why we compare to the US. It's really come to this one. To create more and more expansion of the business, big business in Taiwan, globally. So, same question here. Right? Places where we're most familiar. And perhaps it's all the sum up of the contrast between Japan and US, where we are. Where do you think Taiwan is? From US, from Japan. Cultural, structural. But one thing we know, it must be hard. Right. It's not, we are not trying.
I think they are just last and last Taiwanese people come out to the US and go back. I think after the 90s or something like.
I like your process. You first started to differentiate the differences. Why we had twice of success earlier, and how come we're not yet creating another?
Japan is something.
Yeah.
If you look at how the people come started here.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I think most of us just want to keep safe and to copy the company who is already success and copy them in
Good point.
Asia.
Good point.
Like China,
Good
there
point.
has Alibaba, Baidu, just like Google, and something like that. And also e-commerce. like 支付宝 like that, and they're really successful in China and make large revenues. And also, I think it's culture is powerful because in my generation, in my 交大997, the best student, high rank students in our class, in our school, they didn't choose studying abroad as their first choice. They already know they has made graduate school to go when they was junior or senior. Like 他们那时候已经有研究所了，所以so they just keep safe and think that they will be good in that situation. They just follow the elders' path to enter a good company in Taiwan, or they don't want to adventure to try everything that they just like me. I was just afraid of fail.
So if Henry say, should we summarize it? He said two things, right? One is, in all the day you can copy it. Okay, whatever they are successful, like Silicon, they can copy it, right? So right now, then if you later on you cannot copy. Then the second one, what do you say is, right now, in all the day, people probably take more chance to come to study and that, and even maybe my father generation is just get一个皮箱，从南部就跑到北部。Right now, some of my professor as you come to USA has only $50, right? I come to USA with $50,000, so and you guys, all of you don't even come to USA because it's too hard. So this is 2 point that's a really good one.
Because I think in the 80s and I think the 70s and 80s, a lot of the Taiwanese people come here for graduate school and all that, and they go back to create all these companies, right? But now, at least I know for my generation, our generation, like people who graduate in the 2000s, I think now I'm like the only few people who actually I came out in high school. I mean, I'm the earliest one, but I mean all my friends, they go to Taida and all that, and they just stay in Taiwan. They know they can go to like MediaTek, they can go to TSMC, all those companies are there for them. They can go to 新竹的学院区. They know they have good jobs there. They don't want to come out.
Apparently, this company didn't tell them about the S curve.
No.
They didn't tell them this company will die.
Yeah.
Be paranoia and
exactly. Yeah.
I think that's a very good.
I want to add something. If you ask the undergraduate students in Taiwan now, what do you want to do after you graduate? Is I want to go to work in the government. How many students are going to study for something that's maybe not related to what they're studying? Because they want to take so a stable job. I want to work at big companies.
How so? How is it now becoming the trend?
I don't know. When I was there, I'm required to take a license test, and that qualified me to work with government for my professional. But for the others, I think back then when I was undergraduate, it was not as common as right now. But now if you ask them, they start the study preparation or exam preparation since second year, third year, and then they go to grad school, and then they graduate, got a PhD. What do they want to do? They want to work at FDA. They want to work at or to get into a stable job. And then if they graduate, your friends will ask you, which company do you work at? Oh, I work for Taijidian. Oh, great. Versus, I want to work at Startup to prepare myself. What? How long is that going to last?
But today I think it's been many years I heard Taiwanese are shouting at diminishing job opportunity, good pay.
No, but what they say, if I heard it right, they say one underneath important thing is in Taiwan right now stability.
Yeah.
Stability seems to be outweigh anything. Right? So the whole society say, hey, give me stability.
I think that's human nature. That's human nature. You want to go
even here is something like stability. But
I think what's missing in Taiwan, if we're talking about the innovation engine that's lacking these days, is that the government's not creating enough incentive in the sense that, for example, we're talking about numbers of students traveling, studying abroad versus in the 80s, say in 2000 years. Yes, there's a big difference in terms of the student coming abroad, but in today's world where you can pretty much do anything through internet, or all the information, as to compare with before, it was more of a closure in the information spread. You could still do as much as back then in the 80s today through the internet and everything, and get the things that you want. But in terms of the incentive, how much money you have to spend when you study here, and how much reward you get in terms of salary, for example, it is a huge difference. If you have a student from Taida and a student from Harvard, which two of the best schools in the U.S. and Taiwan, when you return to Taiwan doing the same job, you probably want to get like $3,000 NT more, maybe as an example, as a rough figure. So that itself is not incentive enough. So why would I want to travel abroad?
But for example, we come to USA, we never think about it, never think of going to Taiwan. I'm going to be very honest with you. Especially people from mainland China, we never come to, if I spend the money, of course we didn't spend a lot of money because we got scholarship, but we never think about going to Taiwan. No. So my point is why today people will say, well, the reason I don't want to come study because I will go to Taiwan, my salary is the same.
That was my, try to get to that point is, why it's been so many years, people saying, hey, we don't have a good job.
Why do they come to the I mean, we come to USA because the time the job was so little, they don't need PhD anyway. So we don't come to USA. I tell you, I never think about going to USA.
So salary is just one incentive. Second, or there could be many other incentives. For example, if Seagate is originally found in Taiwan, for example, then maybe Steve, you would actually consider going to Taiwan if there's an opportunity for you to. A platform for you to do what you do the best. That itself is an incentive. If myself in the medical device industry, if there's a global company like Johnson & Johnson in Taiwan, where they do the manufacturing, where they do the R&D in Taiwan, I would like to go back to Taiwan to devote my skill set. But in fact, in medical device in Taiwan, mostly are just the traders, 贸易商, 代理商. They don't, so a lot of jobs that I look for are just like sales representative, manager, which is still a good job, but I'm saying that's not something I was looking for, or with the training that I have in the US that I want to bring back.
So if I capture your point, it is that the motivation coming out is that you are thinking about going back.
Yeah. No, if there would be more incentive, I would want it to go back, but
if there's more platform that connect back to Taiwan.
Right.
Well,
yes.
We are doing that, but however, it's just a fact is not so many right now.
So no, I guess I'm saying that yes, there is a gap in terms of the so-called study abroad, but I don't think that contributed the most because with the technology today, we can sort of mine that gap a little bit. But there's something else more. That.
Sorry, I'm going to add what I think, and maybe very different to you young people. When we come to U.S. study, the gap between the U.S. education and Taiwan education is not much difference.
In what aspect?
I went to University of Utah. It's not any tougher than what I was in Taiwan. Taiwan University public, so it's not. The reason I come here, because my parents, everybody want to come here. Because you can make so much money here. All opportunities are in USA. Okay. I see a little bit young people, maybe we needed to connect to that. I need to learn a little bit more. It's very different. I see my parents, I got all the stories. They come to USA. Even if you don't have money, don't worry about it. I heard about people can go to Chinese restaurant, Washington D.C. and that, right? And so, so I was, everybody's ready, right? Say, hey, even I don't have money. I have money but some of my friends, they don't have money, but everybody will come here. We got to figure out a way to do it. So they think about payoff so much. Right now, most of the time when I was giving the seminar in Taiwan, everybody comes and said, I don't have money. And I said, don't worry about it. You figure out. I needed 50,000. I said, who told you that? Okay. I said, right now even happen in the mainland China. I have a lot of people I hire right now work for me from the mainland China. Come here with $25. Right? Right now they all become director, manager, that. So again, this is some of maybe in old generation and the young generation, there's some of the thinking maybe a little bit different. Somehow the people right now in Taiwan scared come to USA. And because, maybe like you said, they think about, I already can learn all this from the internet. By the way, in my time, USA education is not any, it's simple. The professor is also trained in USA, went back to Taiwan to teach him. I don't think.
I think there's another point. Is like first, they are concerned about the ability to start here because they lack of money. The second reason, if I spend so much money, what's the possibility I can stay here because of the immigration law?
That
So
hasn't
people-
changed. I think that hasn't changed.
They haven't changed. For Taiwanese, if you got a PhD, it will be much easier to stay than from mainland China. Because your H1 visa is much higher. So I don't know.
But there are some people are struggling. Do I want to try to stay here, or I come back and get this position right now and ahead of those stay there for 2 years?
Well, I can sense in all this conversation, perhaps people stability and conservativeness seems to be booming. It's like complacency, if you can say that for that way. I mean, I certainly share with. I think David probably has a very similar experience. That why did we come out? We have a gold digging mind in our mind, and there's a direction, there's a risk, and there's an investment. We cannot be much better affordability back then than now. That cannot be. I just cannot happily see that today's the students is less affordable to come to the US.
I think the whole mentality needs to be changed.
Yeah.
In order to move from one S-curve to the other S-curve, the most important mentality is you have to constantly force yourself move out of the comfort zone instead of constantly try to seek even more comfortable position to be in. And I think that's the problem with current young generation. You only want to move to a very comfortable position. You think it's comfortable, but it's a slow death. It's actually very bad. So I think we have to promote the idea of you have to move out of your comfort zone, try to do something new.
So
Otherwise,
that's
the whole society will not.
that's the psychological part leading to the next page. I just wanted to.
Well, let young people to dispute a little bit because we all we seem to be pumping them like crazy.
I think it's all about opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Back then, the opportunity cost is less than 2000 to 2010 in that period. And I think the situation is now changing. Many of my friends working in Taiwan, they already quit their job. They start to apply U.S. University graduate school.
Mm-hmm.
They quit their job. They want to come here to create their new job career.
Mm-hmm.
So you say it's changing right now.
Yeah, it's changing.
So what you're saying is there are period of time the cost
Yeah.
the cost is actually lower. The
Yeah.
investment cost is lower in Taiwan.
I
Right.
think in a sense there is more choices today for the call it younger generation to choose from as to say 80s and the 70s. I think that was a time when the U.S. Taiwan relationship was going down. At least I heard from my father say that a lot. A lot of people felt that Taiwan is going down, and the only way is to move to the U.S. So U.S. to them is a place of security and stability. So that one was, and then so that limits the opportunities in Taiwan, at least in people's mindset. But in today, there's a lot more choices for the young generation to choose from. You can do this, you can do that. So they will take the easier path rather than thinking way ahead and say, well, what should I become in 20 years, and so on. So in terms of that, I think that's a big difference. So I want to give one example, like that the observation today, and I think everybody agreed. Physicians in Taiwan, doctors in Taiwan, doctors, right? 是在台湾是最就是说是最被羡慕的一个 position, and then every parent would encourage their kids to become a doctor, but doctors are actually not as happy as before, and that is because they're getting limited choices in terms of whether reimbursement, whether the social status, and the working hours, for example. So a lot of them, because they don't have choice, now they're jumping out of their comfort zone, doing something else, or moving towards the industry side, or even coming to the U.S. because they, or even to China because there's bigger market. So they start jumping out of their comfort zone. Is the point I'm trying to make, because they are getting limited to the choices.
So Sen, I'm going to extend it to this. I think you're right. But the one big difference during our time was we were never even think about going to mainland China. So for us, everybody's go upstream, go to better place in USA. The problem is right now, mainland China even better than Taiwan. I cannot believe when I went to Beijing Daxie, then I found, why you study here? Right? Then that's the other problem. We say it's not only choice. And that's the reason I think we need to watch it. Taiwan actually right now is backward. Right? So in that time, you cannot even think about go to mainland China, even Korea. But right now you look at, whoa, there's a better place. So we used to be the number two.
The doctor goes to Singapore.
That's true.
I mean, even in that time, Singapore was not even behind Taiwan. So the only one you go to Japan, Europe, then USA, 3 places. Right? So you're right. I mean, right now you have so many choices because we are number 10. So I can choose 9. Usually we are number 4. I have only 3 to choose. I gotta go to Japan. I gotta go to USA, or you go to Europe, right? So that's the other problem, and we have to realize right now we are in position number 10.
So I don't know if you see the trend right now, if you read the news, but a lot of young people, like you were saying, are coming to the U.S. to work rather than to study. So that, at least I think that number has been increased of coming to the U.S., especially California, for example. And that in terms, governments start worrying about it because all the talented people are start moving away from Taiwan, at least from the government's perspective. Now what they worry is how to get them back, which is back to the same question of all the students that study abroad, how do you bring them back? So it's incentive.
No, let's make a point. When during our time, Taiwan Daxie engineering almost 100% 出国都在美国。Actually, there's a movement of Taiwan.
That really,
so this logic is whatever all these people, this logic is all wrong. 100%成功大学是很少，we are about 30%，没有人会去。
So what Steve's trying to say is that if you project it now, a lot of these elites, if they come out, they all come out and learn a lot of things. We just talk about the cultural change and the diversity. That's how Taiwan will at the same time be booming. Like you said, like everybody says, the information channel is so fast. And people who will care about Taiwan are the people like us.
Today, why we teaching you guys and free? And I know you probably say, guys, this cost must be so bad. And I'm going to tell you, it is like cost about, if I add all the salary together, it's probably about $3,000–4,000 an hour. Okay. No, I'm not trying to charge it. Do you know why we give this? Because we are from Taiwan. We come to study that. And that's you cannot measure it. Oh, do you go back to Taiwan to work? But we probably contribute more to that. The point is that this logic is not right. This is whatever logic to worry about people come to USA. I don't recommend people come to USA work. I recommend people come to USA study, compete, get a top-notch job. Because if you don't study here, you have handicap try to compete to the top job. Right? So no, I got that. I see this government, whatever they say, is totally wrong, and that's a different subject. Most of people never even run anything. They all profess the whole life. But you know, it's my point. The fact, the result does not support what they say.
Okay. So we're gonna cut this page short. It's good discussion, and pretty much we cover what we're supposed to discuss here. But I want to show it to you that there are hurdles to innovation. Taiwan is facing many generations of changes to today that we think it is transforming. It seems to happen. And I think lots of good points. However, you put it in a negative way, please bring it to a solution. We don't want you to continue thinking the impossibility. We want you to think along the way how to solve it. Right. So hurdle to the innovation, but the end of to it is how are you going to solve it? Psychologically, we touched about inertia. We probably less talk about it, but complacency is one of it. Structural culture is definitely the most challenging one to overtake. We still have probably a few minutes, well, not really. I need to close this page to move on to our next section.